Welcome to Moments with Michelle and Michael, where you have a mom and a son comparing how life was growing up. Now coming at you, Michelle and Michael. What's going on, everybody? This here is Michael. I've got my mom, Michelle, with me.
And
Hello.
I'm in the car. And I'm traveling because, well, it's a secret.
Welcome to
I
our
might
season.
I might give a hint at the end.
Ooh.
But welcome, season 2. Yay! We're in season 2.
Yes,
Did you
yes.
ever think we'd get here?
I did.
I did too.
Yeah.
I don't know
did.
about
I
them.
Totally did.
But yeah.
Well, I hope
and
they
see,
did.
And see, guys, we do travel because I literally am in my car. See, watch. Sun visor. I'm in my car.
Yes. I'm not
And
in the car.
I'm in my car because, well, I can't tell you. I'll tell you at the end.
Okay. What are we talking about today?
We are talking about the Queen Mary.
Ooh,
I know.
that's kind of cool.
I know. The Queen Mary, I've been to the Queen Mary. When I was a lot younger, like before you and your sister were born, I went with a bunch of my friends.
Mhm.
And I think they were trying to scare me because they kept saying, we're going to go down to the pool. And I kind of looked at them and I said, the pool? The ship's got a pool? Yeah, ship's got a pool. Yeah, we're going to go down to the pool. And I said, for why? And they said, because you need to see it. And I said, okay. Well, they got me all the way down to the pool. And then they proceeded to tell me, be careful where you step. You might touch a ghost. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We had fun. We did the typical teenage young adult stuff on the Queen Mary.
Yeah.
And unlike most teenage young adults, we didn't get kicked off.
Well, that's good.
I know. But you know how we're always saying that our platform is on traveling and vacations and fashion and school and movies and blah, 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 blah. Well, we've traveled quite a bit during our season 1, but because of the success of season 1, season 2 is going to take me and you, well, maybe you if you don't have to work, because I'm retired, going to take us on road trips, and it's going to take us to really interesting locations.
Yeah.
And some amazing guests we're going to have on here. And I really can't wait. But because of the day, I thought, why not talk about the Queen Mary and why I went there?
Okay.
So I'll ask you again. Have you ever been to the Queen Mary?
I have been there. I've been there just like on a day just to kind of go and check out the ship, do all the tours and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then during September and October, they do a Halloween event there for like a month and a half called Dark Harbor. And I've been there a couple times.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you had to buy tickets for that event.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm sure they were, at the time, they were expensive.
They're definitely pricey. Not like $100 a person, but like $50-$60 a person.
Yeah.
It's a little pricey, but
yeah,
you get what you pay for, you know?
Yeah. So At the end of August, my granddaughter, your niece,
Yes.
and I went to the Queen Mary for a 3-day event. I had never stayed on the Queen Mary.
Okay.
I had never spent a lot of time on the Queen Mary.
Uh-huh.
So it was an experience. It was an experience that was not on my bucket list, but I'm glad I went, because now that I've gone and I've experienced it, I kind of want to go back, not to stay, but to tour.
Okay.
Because the event that we were at, we weren't really able to do a lot of touring while we were there. We did tour, but we didn't do a lot of touring because we were very busy at this event.
Yeah.
And my takebacks for this was, this thing's got history.
Oh yeah.
This ship, unbeknownst to me, has got huge history. Not only for our country, but for the UK.
Yeah.
And some of the things that I discovered about the Queen Mary was that it is 2.5 times the size of the Titanic. Now, we all thought the Titanic was a big ship. No, it was a tugboat compared to this ship. Okay. We got to what they've got this room, and I cannot remember what floor it's on. I want to say it's on the M deck, maybe. I don't remember. Anyway, they've got this room where they have this repeated newsreel that loops.
Yeah.
And it's videos of historical events that have happened on the ship itself. And when I was in there, the loop that we got to see was about the war brides from World War II. And, you know, this kind of stuff isn't really talked about in school. And so it was educational for me. I didn't know that there were war brides, and I'm an educator, and I didn't know this.
Yeah.
So the story that was told to us in the newsreel was that at the end of World War II, there were war brides that were in London that were married to U.S. military personnel, and the U.S. government made an agreement with the Queen to ship the war brides and their children to the Americas to reconnect with their husbands.
Yes.
And they showed videos of these women with infants and adolescents and teenagers and babies and, you know, the whole 9 yards. And I was just in awe over this. And then after the newsreel, they showed us a locked, fully windowed room that was locked. We couldn't go in it, but it was the original playroom that the kids would go in and play with toys.
Yeah.
And I was in total awe over this. Okay. The other thing that on this tour that we took was that I learned that I didn't know again, was that there was an entire section of this floor that was dedicated to Princess Diana. And none of the items that they had in these cases were there anymore. They were required by the Queen and Prince Harry and Prince William to pack up. They sent people from London to the Queen Mary, and staff at the Queen Mary helped these royal personnel people to pack up all of her stuff and remove all of her personal effects out of these cases and ship them back to London. Okay. Yeah. All the cases are still there. And her moniker is still there. The only thing that is shown at this museum that they did not take is a picture of Prince William, Princess Kate, Prince Harry, and Princess Meghan. That's it. That's all that's there. And I thought, how sad that for people like me who didn't know it was there, and people like Hannah, who is a teenager in high school, to not have the opportunity to see this exhibit.
Yeah.
I thought, how sad. But then I realized, no, those items don't belong to us. They belong to Diana's kids. And they should be in the hands of Diana's kids. And from what I was told, that exhibit actually was put together after she was killed.
Yeah.
So, that was interesting in and of itself.
Okay.
The reason I was there was that Hannah and I were part of a beauty pageant. I accepted the opportunity for Hannah and I to participate in this because I wanted Hannah to experience it. It was very expensive. I had to fundraise like crazy. But it was a theatrical experience for Hannah. For me, it was going well. I didn't go into it thinking I would win, and thank God I didn't, because I would have been excessively disappointed. I didn't go into it thinking, that they're going to pick me. But Hannah actually did quite well, and they were very impressed with her. Yeah. She did not win any of the major awards, but she was crowned Miss Teen Inland California.
That's awesome.
So your niece was crowned and sashed.
That's awesome.
Your mother was also crowned and sashed.
Okay.
I was crowned and sashed Miss MS period, East San Diego. I don't live in San Diego. But because it took us so long to get our money in, it was the only one left. So they graced me with it. Whatever. I'm good with that. Whatever.
You got crown and sash. That's all that matters.
Look at my crown.
Ooh.
I know.
Now I just need one.
Woohoo! And so here is my sash.
Very cool.
Yeah. I put it on, but you can't see it because of my steering wheel.
Yeah.
So, but there's the crown.
Very cool.
So, but I probably will never do one again. And not because I didn't have fun, because I did, but because I'm a klutz and I need to order bubble wrap by the case. I probably won't do one again, because during rehearsals, I went down the catwalk and did my pose. And as I turned to walk back up the catwalk, my right leg gave way and I almost fell off the stage.
It's not good. They need like
rails
or something for you.
I tweaked my knee and I tweaked my back and I tweaked my ankle. And that was on day 1 of rehearsals.
It's the ghost.
So
that's what I think.
The remainder of the pageant, I was in like level 15 pain. And the first night I was there, because of the near fall, I was cramping like crazy. My legs, my foot contorted so bad. It was, and everybody was asleep. And I was laying on this twin bed in the room, just, and then it dawned on me, Michelle, if you can get your foot to flatten out, you can hobble over to the ice chest and grab the soaking wet, ice cold towel that's in the bottom of the ice chest and wrap your legs with it.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And I didn't cramp after that.
That's good.
However, I was excessively tired because we had to get up at 4 a.m. and I didn't fall asleep till midnight. So I was very tired.
Yeah.
But I persevered and I did what they wanted me to do. And I got crowned and sashed. And that was amazing. On the second day of the event, at the very end, we ended like at round 5 so everybody could have dinner and get some rest and blah, blah, blah. One of the queen attendants was telling me that her and a bunch of the other queens were going to go on what they referred to as a ghost tour.
Mm-hmm.
And they had gone on their own the night before, the very first night. Mm-hmm. And I always knew that there was this legend that the Queen Mary was haunted. Yeah. Okay. And I was always told, stay off the B deck, stay off the B deck. Okay. So when I got my room and they said it was on A deck, I was, okay, I'm no B deck for me. Sorry. And, of course, the people at the desk, they laugh a lot. But these 3 people told me that on Friday night, they went on their own tour and they went down to where the pool is. And there was a restroom there and the 2 girls needed to use the restroom. And they had one of those, I keep referring to it as a Geiger counter, but it's like a ghost EMF meter or something.
EMF,
I don't know what
EVP.
Yeah. Okay. It's like a ghost meter. And they had it on and had it with them. And they were down on the ghost deck and they kept, the meter thing kept saying, get out. Get out. Okay. And the girls were like, okay, well, we're not here to cause you any harm. We're not going to give you danger. We just need to use the restroom. And they'd hear get out. And it wasn't like a get out. It was a get out kind of thing. Very aggressive. Okay. So they went to the restroom and the guy that was with them was holding on to the meter while the girls were in there. Mm-hmm. And he went into the men's room and he was like hearing the same thing. And so the girls come out and he hands the girls the meter and he's just standing up against one of these posts and he takes his camera and he's going, never moves the camera. He just goes click, 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 like 18, 19 times. Click, click, click. Yeah. And the very last picture that he took was an apparition of a face going.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So he shows it to me and I told him, I said, now I'm not afraid of ghosts. Not at all. Whatever. Hannah, on the other hand, is very afraid of ghosts. Okay. Uh-huh. In fact, the hallways are very long and very narrow. And we'd get to a place in the tour and there'd be a long hall and she'd go, nope, and go around the corner. And she wouldn't look down the hallway. And one of the girls that was on the tour, I looking down the hallway and I said, wow, that was a bummer. And the lady looks at me and she goes, what? And I said, I kind of expected to see the twins at the end of the hallway. And she goes, I was thinking the same thing. And Anna's going like, nope, 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 not just nope, but nope, nope.
Oh, that's so funny.
I know. And so that Saturday night, they were going to go on their ghost tour, their official authorized ghost tour.
Yeah.
And in the ghost tour, they tipped their tour guide like hundreds of dollars. And he took them to places on the ship that people aren't supposed to go.
Yeah.
And one of the girls kept saying she kept feeling a tap on her shoulder, like people were like tapping her on the shoulder. And she was just like, hi, we're here to visit. How are you? And then something blew in her ear and she went like that. And she said, do you want us to leave? And the meter thing said, no, stay. Let's play.
That's kind of creepy.
And I'm like, that didn't scare you? And she goes, oh no, it petrified me. I said, then why did you go? She goes, because I love being scared.
That's crazy.
So, of course, when we left, I made everybody get out of the room. All of our stuff was out of the room. And I went in and I closed the door and I said a little prayer. And then I spoke to whatever entity was in the room. Not that we saw any or heard any or anything. And I just said, thank you for allowing us to visit. I hope you appreciate that we cleaned the room for you. But please stay on the boat and don't follow me home. Take care.
Did they follow you home?
No. But for that week after that, I was excessively down, like depressed down. I felt a heavy pressure on me, but I was also recuperating from the near fall because I literally could not move. Every muscle and bone in my body was killing me that week from that near fall.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think stupidly, I researched the Queen Mary the Tuesday after and watched YouTube videos about people going in and taking official tours during COVID. And there was a guy, a caretaker that lived on the ship because nobody was allowed on the ship at all. Okay. During COVID. And this guy was the caretaker and he lived on the ship with his little dog. Okay. And these people are like standing at the beginning of the hallway and they see this guy walking down the hallway. And one of the guys goes, is that a ghost and his dog, or is that a real person and a real dog? And pretty soon the dog barks and the guy freaked out.
That's funny.
Very funny. And then I went on the History Channel and I typed in history of the Queen Mary, and it was talking about how its first launch was out of the UK and it traveled all around the world. Okay. And then the war started and they docked it in the UK and painted it all gray. And during the war, it hauled military back and forth to different ports. And it was referred to as the Gray Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of an apropos name, no?
Pretty much.
Yeah. And then when we were on our little tour, they talked about it being the Gray Ghost. And they showed us a section of the ship where the paint is chipping and you can see where it was gray.
Yeah.
And I thought, how flippin' interesting is that? Again, Nobody teaches that in school.
Yeah.
I didn't know this, but the whole time I was on there and I was realizing the historical value of the Queen Mary, I was thinking World War II, my aunts and uncles and my grandparents and my mom was all a part of World War II. And because the ladies that were in there, you could tell they were dressed in 40s attire and their hairstyles were the 40s. And, the men were all, all military 40s uniforms and stuff. And I just sat there thinking, this ship technically was part of my family history.
Yeah.
Because my family, well, for a good part of the time they were in Hawaii, my uncles were all sent overseas to like Germany and Belgium and Sweden and Finland and the UK. And I don't know if they were ever on the Queen Mary when it was the Gray Ghost. I have no idea. But when they brought the military back over, they used the Gray Ghost to do that. And every deck on that ship was filled with military personnel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, this is literally a floating history book.
Yeah, most of the military that was on the ship, they were like medical patients, being injured from the war and coming home, and they used the Queen Mary to help military, ship their injured and it's got a lot of history.
A lot of history. Yeah. And then after seeing that video or that looped reel of the war brides being on the ship and how they had thousands of women and children on the ship, I'm laying in my little twin bed because, you're lucky if you find a room that's got a queen. Okay.
Yeah.
That's like in the do rooms. Anyway. We had a room that had 2 twin beds, okay? Mm-hmm. And I'm laying in that bed one night. Everybody's asleep. And I'm laying in that bed one night, and I'm thinking, I'm sleeping on a bed that one of those war brides slept in.
Yeah.
And I'm using a desk and a dresser and a closet that those war brides used. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking out a porthole that those war brides looked out of and potentially hung out of. They're all sealed up now. You can't even open the portholes anymore. But one of the old fans is still in there, and there's a plaque on it that says non-operational, but the fan is there. And the bathrooms are very interesting. Like, to flush the toilet, you have to push this knob in. Mm-hmm. Weird. Anyway,
that's how it was back then.
Yeah. And and like the power ports, they have the old power ports that you could use, but you can't use them anymore. They had elevators that were non-operational because they were obsolete and couldn't get parts for them anymore. So they sealed them up.
Yeah.
But I just, and every time I was walking down one of the hallways, I was thinking, how many war brides and kids ran up and down these hallways?
Lots.
How many injured military were carried on gurneys down these halls into rooms?
Yeah. During your tour, did you hear about the explosion on the ship?
Yes.
That killed like, I think that it was like in the engine room.
It was in the engine room, and from what I can remember, it was during the construction of the ship before it launched, and they were testing the engines, and there was 1 or 2 guys that was standing next to the engine that blew up and it killed them. And they believe that one of the men that was killed, his spirit is still there.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of little girls that died on the ship whose spirits are there, and they showed how there's 2 pools on the ship, and the pool that this little girl drowned in is no longer a pool. They now have a movie theater in there. But where the other pool is, periodically, if you're down there, you can hear a little girl laughing. You can see water splashing and then wet footprints on the concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. I want to go back, not to stay, but I want to go back and do a day tour of the Queen Mary, and actually do the historical day tour, not a night tour, a day tour, because there are things in that ship that I didn't get to see because of the event. And then the dome for the Spruce Goose is still there.
Mm-hmm.
But we were told that the Spruce Goose, about 20 years ago, was completely dismantled and on a cargo ship was sent to Oregon somewhere and re-put together, and it's permanently housed in Oregon somewhere.
That's crazy.
And now the dome is used as a passenger hub for a cruise line.
They do use the dome for other events, like they have like I had said earlier, the Halloween event. They do a Christmas event where it's the entire building is like as cold as ice. Like it's a freezing area, but it's like a play area as well. So they still utilize the dome for other things, but yeah, it's definitely a hub for.
It's a hub for. I want to say it's Holiday Cruise Line. I can't remember. It's a famous cruise line.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, the launch pad for the boat that goes to Catalina is there as well.
Yeah, they also have a Russian submarine parked right next to it.
It's all rusted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. You can see it. It's all rusted. They have a couple of the dinghy boats that they would use if they had an emergency and people had to get off the ship. They have one of those down below that you can stand in front of and take pictures. And the Russian submarine is there. You can stand and take pictures. But what an experience. An experience. I mean, the whole idea that the ship is historical and that the legend that it's haunted is 100% true.
Yeah.
It's an amazing venue. It's an amazing venue.
I definitely recommend it to everybody.
And the stage area where the pageant was at, there was actually someone who was killed in that room as well. It was used for like Benny Goodman, and they did a lot of, big band stuff in there. And one of the staff members was hung on one of the curtain rope things, and his spirit is still there. And so, of course, when I found that out, I was looking at all the pictures to see if there were apparitions in the pictures, but there's not. But all of the original paintings are still there from when it first launched, like 70 plus years ago. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I definitely.
So because it's Friday the 13th.
Yes.
And it's do day. I wanted to do this episode on the Queen Mary and the historical aspect of it, my experiences of it, and the spooky side of it.
Yeah.
And because it's Friday the 13th, without a doubt, their spooky Halloween event venue thing is already running.
Yes.
Yeah. Word of warning, their rooms, very expensive.
Oh, I'm sure.
horribly expensive. Now we got a cut rate because of the pageant, because she's done her pageants there for the last 10 years. So she kind of gets a block rate for the rooms. But the room that we had that had 2 twin beds, a flat screen TV, a closet, and a dresser desk kind of thing, and a bathroom with a tub shower, basic bathroom, basic nautical bathroom. That room normally runs over $400 a night.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Now we got it for $250 a night.
Yeah.
Even that is expensive. But if you want to take the tour and you want the adventure and you want to say we stayed on the Queen Mary, save your pennies, because it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're not only paying for the room, but you're paying for Long Beach tourism tax and Long Beach excise tax and Long Beach nautical tax and tax and tax and tax and tax and tax.
All these taxes. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But like I said, if that's on your bucket list and you want to check that off, I would advise that you do it during off-peak season, which is usually between March and May.
Mm-hmm.
And, no, September, October is pretty busy, and so are the holidays. I would say between February and May is probably off-season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I recommend that to anybody.
Yeah.
If
I didn't
you're
mean to hog the episode, but
sorry, if you're a history buff and you like that type of stuff, I would definitely go and check it out. 100%.
Yeah. It's an experience, and one that I didn't expect. I expected to have the experience with the pageant, not with the historical value of the Queen Mary.
Yeah.
Because as a young adult, when I was there just goofing around, not staying and just goofing around, I didn't go on there thinking that it was historical. It was a ship.
Yeah.
You don't, as a young adult, you don't see the value in something like that. And I'm so glad that Hannah got to experience it, because not many kids her age ever get the chance to do something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the weather was good. It was warm during the day, but at night it was cool enough to like sit on the deck or walk on the deck or whatever you wanted to do, and the rooms are not air conditioned. There's fans that go through these holes in the ceiling, but it gets kind of warm in there when you have multiple people. And they do offer you extra pillows and fans for your room. You just have to ask for them.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that was my experience on the Queen Mary.
I honestly think that we should do a recap episode of the Queen Mary, but actually be
on the Queen Mary. Yeah.
Doing snippets. I think that would be kind of cool, just to kind of give everybody that doesn't have the chance to experience the Queen Mary to experience it online.
Yeah. Yeah. I am all for doing that. I think we need to do a part 2 about the Queen Mary. Yes. Maybe closer to the end of October, closer to Halloween, maybe. Or we could do it in November during Veterans Day.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. I want our followers to tell us what they think we should do. When would you like to see a part 2 of the Queen Mary with us actually on the Queen Mary?
Yeah.
Talking about all these fun places. Yeah. That would be fun. That would be fun. So, what are we doing on the next episode, Michael?
Don't know. You tell me.
You have no clue?
No.
Oh, that's right. I did say at the beginning that I was in my car because I was interviewing a guest speaker, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I did say that I'd kind of give you a hint of what it's about, right?
Yeah.
Well, what can I say about the next episode that's going to entice people to be here? Well, let's just put it to you this way.
Okay.
The individual that we are going to have at the next episode, which isn't that far away.
Yeah.
Because I'm already booked through November for Moments with Michelle and Michael. They're going to get so tired of us. But anyway, this is an individual that I have known probably 5, 6, 7 years now. And he's very well known in the news broadcasting industry.
Okay.
And he's going to come and talk to us about his experiences as a videographer, a news reporter, a photographer, getting into some of the most sketchiest situations to get the truth out to the community.
Yeah.
And some of the stories and experiences this guy has had are just awesome. I mean, listening to him talk, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Yeah. And I know that when you get to talk to him, because he's somewhat in the same industry as you, kind of, sort of, you are going to want to get to know this guy more.
I'm excited.
You are going to want to get connected with him.
Okay.
He's going to make a major offer to us, and I already know what it is, but I'm not spilling. And let's just say this guy has got cred.
I'm excited.
This guy has
I'm excited to get this going.
This guy has got some serious cred. So I am looking forward to that episode dropping. It will drop before the end of the month. And then our first episode, which will be our third episode for this season, in October, we're going to be talking to another individual that I've known for quite some time that is a therapist, and we're going to be talking to her about mental health recovery and domestic violence.
Okay.
Because I think that it's important, even though we do a lot of traveling, I think it's important that we touch on episodes that include stuff like that.
Oh, of course.
Because, you know, she may have information that could help a viewer that we don't know, that doesn't even live in our state, that might be able to help that person. And there is facets where you and I can touch on our personal experiences with this stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make it dark. And I told her I don't want to make it dark, but I do want to make it informative.
100%.
So those are the only two I'm going to kind of touch on. But I've got, I mean, I'll put it to you this way, and I hope you're ready, son, because we're pretty much booked through the end of the year with episodes and speakers.
Well, I'm ready, and I know you're ready.
Yeah, but are they ready?
Yeah, are you guys ready?
Yeah. Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know by clicking that like and subscribe. Yes. So you can stay connected to us and you can find out what we're doing and when we're doing it. And I promise you, before the next episode drops, we will be doing a teaser. I love doing teasers.
You're such a tease.
You know, I've been told that so many times in my life. Yeah. Yeah. But it's all in a good way.
Yes.
It's all in a good way. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm so excited that season 2 has started. I'm so glad that we're back on track. I'm so glad that the heat is gone.
Oh my gosh. That was a horrible heat wave that we had.
I woke up this morning and it was, I looked at the weather and it was going to be 85 degrees. I was like, wait, what? Wait, is my computer, is it working?
Yeah.
Is it, Yeah. I was so happy to see that. So happy to see that. Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Very good.
So, tell us again how you like this episode. Give us suggestions on what you would like to see, because we've got all kinds of ideas, but our ideas might not be your ideas.
And so we want to know,
what do you want us to talk about? Do you want to be a guest on our platform? Let us know, because I think we're the only platform on the World Wide Web that doesn't charge people to speak on our platform.
Yeah, come and hang with us.
Come and hang with us. Let's get happy. Let's get happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Let's do fun stuff. Yeah. So let us know. Like and subscribe.
Yes. Get on the interwebs. Go on the social medias. We're all there.
Yep, we are. 100%. We are. We're absolutely there. We're there. I'm so glad to see you guys again. Thank you for keeping us going and understanding that we needed to get through the heat wave. And we're on the road, obviously, because I'm in my car. See, there's my sun visor. And we're on the road and we're doing it. This is season 2, episode 1. Yay! Wait, I gotta do this.